Welcome back. Today, I wanted to discuss another book that's been really influential and positive read for me, and it's called Who Moved My Cheese? The Story of Who Moved My Cheese. I really like this story, and I just want to share it with you. So, the story of Who Moved My Cheese in chapter one, this book begins by introducing the reader to four main characters: Sniff and Scurry, two mice, and Him and Haw, two little people. So, of course, this is a fiction, but it has a very important lesson. And so they all live in a maze and spend their days searching for cheese, which represents what they want in life. And one day they all discover a big cheese station filled with an endless supply of cheese. And they all enjoy the cheese and become comfortable with their routine of going to the station every day. And then in chapter two, the story of Cheese Station C. As time goes by, the characters become complacent and take the cheese for granted. They start to believe that the cheese will always be there and stop being vigilant in case the cheese runs out. However, one day they arrive at the station to find that the cheese is gone. Sniff and Scurry quickly adapt and leave in search of new cheese, while Hem and Haw are shocked and refuse to believe that the cheese is gone. In chapter 3, the story of the mice Sniff and Scurry. Sniff and Scurry continue their journey through the maze, facing challenges and obstacles along the way. They use their instincts to find new cheese and don't waste time dwelling on the past. They are always prepared for change and not afraid to take risks. In chapter 4, the story of the little people, Hem and Haw. Hem and Haw, on the other hand, are stuck in their old ways and refuse to leave the cheese station. They believe that the cheese will magically reappear and become angry and bitter when it doesn't. They blame each other and the situation for their predicament and refuse to take any responsibility for their actions. In chapter 5, the story of finding cheese. Hall eventually realizes that the cheese is not coming back and decides to leave the cheese station in search of new cheese. He overcomes his fears and starts to explore the maze, leaving behind his old beliefs and attitudes. He learns to adapt to change and embrace it as an opportunity for growth. In chapter 6, the story of the handwriting on the wall. As Hall continues his journey, he comes across messages written on the wall, which serve as a reminder and lessons for him. He learns that change is inevitable and that he must constantly adapt to survive. He also realizes that he should not take things for granted and should always be prepared for change. In chapter 7, the story of enjoying the adventure. Hall finally finds new cheese and is overjoyed. He learns to appreciate the journey and the lessons he has learned along the way. He also understands, well, the latter chapters of the book, the narrative focuses on the aftermath of the character's discovery that the cheese has been moved. This pivotal moment serves as a catalyst for their respective journeys of adaptation and self-discovery. So there's Him's resistance to change. Him represents the fear and denial that often accompany change. After the cheese is moved, he refuses to leave the empty stockpile, clinging to the hope that his cheese will return. Him's attitude reflects a common human response to change, to the desire to resist and hold on to the past. He believes that if he waits long enough, things will return to how they once were. Him's stubbornness leads to frustration and stagnation as he becomes increasingly bitter about the situation. He often blames others for his predicament, illustrating how fear can paralyze individuals and prevent them from taking action. Then there's Haw's journey of discovery. In contrast, Haw begins to realize that clinging to the past is futile. Initially, he shares Him's fears, but gradually comes to understand that change is inevitable. Haw's internal dialogue reveals his struggle between comfort and the need for growth. He starts to venture into the maze, motivated by the desire to find new cheese. As he explores, he reflects on the lessons learned from his previous experiences and begins to embrace the idea that change can lead to new opportunity. Hall's journey is marked by a series of realizations. He learns to let go of his fears and visualize the cheese he hopes to find. He writes messages on the wall of the maze, which serve as reminders of his insights. These messages encapsulate key lessons about change, such as number one, change happens, anticipate it. Number two, monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. Three, adapt quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. And number four, move with the cheese. When you move beyond your fears, you feel free. As Haw navigates the maze, he encounters challenges and setbacks, but he remains committed to his quest for new cheese. His journey symbolizes the importance of resilience and adaptability in the face of change. Finding new cheese. Eventually, Haw discovers a new stash of cheese. This moment represents a significant turning point in the story. The new cheese is abundant and fulfilling, symbolizing the rewards that come from embracing change and taking risks. Haw's discovery reinforces the idea that while change can be daunting, it can also lead to greater happiness and success. Hall's transformation is complete when he realizes that he has the power to shape his own destiny. He understands that the cheese will always move, and the key to happiness lies in his ability to adapt and seek new opportunities. He reflects on his journey and acknowledges the importance of being proactive rather than reactive. Him stagnation. Meanwhile, him remains stuck in his old ways. He continues to resist change, refusing to leave the empty cheese station. His refusal to adapt ultimately leads to his isolation and unhappiness. Him's character serves as a cautionary tale about the danger of complacency and the refusal to embrace change. As Haw moves forward, Him's fate serves as a stark contrast, highlighting the consequences of inaction. The power of perspective. As Haw continues to enjoy his new cheese, here he reflects on the lessons learned throughout his journey. He recognizes that change is a natural part of life and that maintaining a positive perspective is crucial. He shares his insights with others, emphasizing the importance of adapting to change and being open to new possibilities. Haw's journey culminates on him. He learns that while cheese may come and go, the ability to adapt and find joy in new experiences is what really matters. His transformation is not just about finding new cheese, but about embracing the journey of life itself. In conclusion, in the end, Who Moved My Cheese serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of adaptability in the face of change. The contrasting journeys of him and Haw illustrate the different ways individuals respond to change. While him's resistance leads to stagnation and unhappiness, Haw's unwillingness to embrace change opens the door to new opportunities and fulfillment. The story encourages readers to reflect on their own responses to change and to consider how they can adapt more proactively and with a positive mindset. By learning to anticipate change, adapt quickly, and move forward with courage, individuals can find their own new cheese and lead more fulfilling lives. Ultimately, the fable conveys a timeless message: change is inevitable, and those who learn to navigate it with grace and resilience will find greater happiness and success in their personal and professional lives.